Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation is the 27th stanza or Pauri from Gaudi Gwareri Kabir Ji. And the recitation. Gagan Rasal Chuai Meri Bhathi, Sanch Maharas Tan Bhaya Kathi. हुआ क्यों कहिए सहज मतवारा, पीवत राम रस ज्ञान विचारा रहाओ। सहज कलालन जो मिल आई, आनंद माते अन दिन जाई। चीनत चीत निरंजन लाया, कहो कबीर तो अनुभव पाया। चीनत चीत निरंजन लाया, कहो कबीर तो अनुभव पाया। Kabir Ji, using the metaphor of wine making in this passage to illustrate the process of self-realization. He says, Gagan Rasal Chuai Meri Bhathi, Sanche Maharas Tan Bhaya Kathi. So let's first look at the words here. Gagan. Gagan is a generic term for sky, but it's also used in Gurbani to indicate supreme consciousness, the basis of bliss. And Gurbani also refers to it as the Dasam Dwar, the 10th gate. So Gagan Rasal. Rasal, delicious, succulent. It's like sap, elixir. And it is a metaphor for self-knowledge, Naam. Chuai Meri Bhathi. Chuai is to drip. So this succulent, delicious sap is dripping Meri Bhathi. Bhathi is the cauldron, the body. It's a metaphor for the body. In other words, I'm collecting the wine that is dripping from this universal consciousness into my body, which is the container. From the void of the 10th gate, Gagan, Dasam Dwar, flows the delicious and succulent sap of self-knowledge. And Kabir says, I collect it in the wooden container of my body, Tan Bhaya Kathi. In the Rahao, the central passage, he says, Ua kau kahiye sehaj matwara, Pivat Ram Ras Gyan Bichara. Hua ko, hua they, them, ko, kahiye, call them truly intoxicated, matavara, sehaj matavara, sehaj who live in their natural state, who live in a condition that is innate to them, spontaneity. So call them truly intoxicated, for they have reflected on Gur wisdom and are drunk on self-knowledge. Pivat Ram Ras Gyan Bichara. So those who have Pivat Ram Ras, who have drunk of this elixir, O ko kahiye, call them Matavara, truly intoxicated, for they live in Sahaj. Sahaj kalalan jo mil aayi, Anand mate an din jai. Sahaj kalalan jo mil aayi. Now the word kalalan is the interesting one here because it refers to, actually it literally means the wife of the wine seller. But here it is a symbol for the wine steward, the one who serves wine in a wine house. And it is used in this particular context as a metaphor for the guru, because the wine is Guru wisdom. And the dispenser of that wine is the Guru. So you see the Kalalan here is the Guru. Sehaj Kalalan jo mil ai. Sehaj happens when you meet the Kalalan, when the Kalalan pours out Guru wisdom. So when the Guru pours or gives you Guru wisdom, then Sehaj occurs. And then Anand mate an din jai. I live in a state of intoxicated bliss, anadin, every day, all the time. A new state of consciousness. So the metaphor of wine for spiritual knowledge has a long history, and it can be found virtually in all religious literature, from the Christian Eucharist to the Greeks, to the Sufis, the Saki, the cup-bearer. And in Gurmat, the Guru is the cup-bearer. And he concludes, Kabir, by saying, Chinat cheet niranjan laya, kaho Kabir, to anubhav paya. Anubhav, experience. So up until now, Guru wisdom is intellectual. You've just understood it. You've understood transcendence, but you have not experienced. So Kabir says, Chinat cheet. Chinat, understanding. Cheet is a generic term that is used for the mind or memory, but it actually indicates the inner mental and psychological faculties that are collectively called the antahkaran, the inner instrument, and has segments like man, buddh, ahankar. So when you apply all of your inner faculties, meaning when you combine the rational with the intuitive, with the imaginative, with the aesthetic, you have to combine these. Your imagination comes into play here, you see. It is not simply a matter of understanding it intellectually. Chinat cheeta niranjana laya. Niranjan, laya. Niranjan is a negative term. Nir means without. Anjan literally means passion, emotion. What that means is you're transcending the senses. How? Chinat cheet. When the rational combines with the intuitive, the inner organs, the inner faculties, that is to say, psychological faculties, feelings, emotions. When all of this comes together, when the fragmentation that has occurred right now comes together, Chinat cheet, then Niranjanalaya, then transcendence arises. You experience transcendence. Kaho Kabir, Tau anubhav paya tau, then you experience anubhav, you experience the self. When? The fragmentation of the mind from other portions of the mind, so to speak, the inman and the unman have to come together. Chinat cheet. Then you will experience niranjan, transcendence. You will have transcended the senses, and then you experience the self. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.